Did you ever have the sensation that you're running out of time? Like life has some sort of intangible timer counting down behind the scenes, nagging you. You should have done it by now. Maybe it's a dream you planted in the earth, a dream you've been afraid to chase. Or maybe you've convinced yourself it's too late. But here's the bad news: nobody tells you that clock don't exist. Success doesn't roll around appearing on a watch. Success isn't interested in your birth certificate. Success, no age prerequisite. Let that sit. The world loves so much putting milestones everywhere. Graduate at 22. Become rich by 25. Succeed by 30. And by 40. Society would have you just quietly stay in your lane, and let younger people steal away with the aspirations you gave up on. But the truth is far less planned, far more breathtaking, and really, far more rebellious. There's no schedule for your greatness. Think about it. Vera Wang designed her first wedding dress at 40. Colonel Sanders started KFC at 65. Stan Lee, he held off until his 40s to come up with his first Marvel superhero. And the list goes on and on. Not because they found some kind of fairy trick, but because they knew one simple fact: life doesn't care you have an age when you choose to believe in yourself. And yet, we fall into this psychological trap, this suffocating, quiet assumption that success is the young, the new, the ones who have years and decades ahead. But what's the thing? Something that's rooted deep in human experience. As well as in ancient wisdom, the mind grows old on its own terms. Wisdom, courage, clarity, they arrive when you're ready, not when the world is ready. Stoic thinkers would say, it's not how long you live, but how well you live. Seneca told us that human beings live decades yet never live a day. Isn't the more tragic thing that? Wasting years of self-doubt, held captive by make-believe deadlines, while your true ability hangs in wait to breathe. But here's the twist: the liberating discovery: you can live today. You can rewrite the script. You can do step one right now, whether you are 18 or 80. Because success is not this distant end goal. It's not money or fame. It's getting up every morning with a sense of purpose, of curiosity, with that small spark inside of you. And that spark, it does not discriminate against age. Let's be practical for a minute. Society loves youth for its passion, its energy. But you know what youth lacks? Perspective, patience, resilience. The kind of battle scars that come from heartbreak, failure, starting over. And yet, ironically enough, it is those very scars that create your most important accomplishments. Some of the most amazing success stories belong to people who were written off, overlooked, underrated, all because they did not arrive on time. But they did something right. The secret is that success is not a race, but a relationship. And like any relationship, it grows in seasons, in storms, and with the passage of time. Ever notice how trees don't rush? They bloom when they are ready. Seasons shift when nature decides, not when humans demand. You're no different. Your growth, your achievements, your breakthroughs, they don't obey arbitrary timelines. They obey readiness. They obey belief. They obey action. And let's talk about playfulness for a minute. Because at some point, we got the message that success is not a joke. It's serious. It's definitive. No room for mistake. But isn't that entirely missing the point? The most successful individuals, regardless of their age, enter the world with a sense of awe, with curiosity. They explore. They play around. They fail. They laugh. And most of all, they stay open. Success loves an open heart. Success loves curiosity. Success smiles on those who are bold enough to start, regardless of how old they are. Yes, I know. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, but I lost my chance. I made too many mistakes. I wasted too much time. But here's a hard reality wrapped in hope: time moves forward. But regret? Regret holds you back in the past. The question is, do you want to stay there? Because if you're breathing, you're still becoming. If your heart's beating, your story's still unfolding. The next chapter, that's yours to write. Doesn't matter if society thinks you're late. Doesn't matter if your peers seem ahead. You're on your time, your pace, your path. And here's the thing that's ironic, those very same individuals who seem to be ahead, many of them are lost, burned out, caught up in expectations that never fill them. Success without peace is a hollow thing, but success on your own terms, that's where joy resides. That's where meaning resides. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control: the effort, the attitude, the courage to act. They never taught us to repeat, control the clock. You can't, but you can control the belief you find strength in, the actions you take today, the decision to begin, and begin again and again. Think of the wide-eyed curiosity you had as a kid. You didn't worry about deadlines. You were curious, adventurous, driven by plain discovery. Somewhere along the way, grown-ups warned you to grow up. Maybe the key to success is not growing up, but growing wide, broader thinking, more courage, more trust. You can start a business at 50. You can learn a skill at 60. Fall in love with life once more at 70. No expiration date on becoming. No deadline on success. Take a pause and really ask yourself, what dream have you silenced? What goal has too late been added to it? What part of you is waiting for permission? Because the greatest permission is within. Nobody's handing you the keys to your future. You pick them up. You turn the lock. You walk through the door. And when you do, you'll find success wasn't lying in wait at some imaginary finish line. It was inside you, quiet, patient, strong all along. The world may judge by age, but life rewards people who have the nerve to begin. And maybe today is your day to start. You know, the most lethal lie we ever take on is that we're out of time. That somehow opportunity belongs to the young, to the fast, to those who figured it all out early. But real life laughs at that script. Let me let you in on a little secret that all wise minds eventually discover sooner or later: the timeline society provides you with. It's made of sand. It slips, it shifts, it's relative to each person. The only timeline that matters is yours. And here's the catch: the greatest victories usually come about after the world stops waiting for them. Think about it. When people least expect your rise, your growth, your comeback, that's when your story becomes legendary. That's when your quiet persistence turns into impact. That's when the years of unnoticed effort suddenly bloom, and everyone calls it an overnight success. But you'll know the truth: there's no such thing as overnight success. Only years of invisible courage. Only days stacked with quiet effort. Second, when you chose belief over questioning, again and again. And those seconds, they do not confirm your years. They confirm your heart. Youth is glorified in the world, but wisdom is wrapped in experience. Your failures, your shattered hearts, your tardiness, they are not shortcomings, they are layers. Layers of strength, of perception, of comprehending most people never achieve. There's a reason the Stoics like to reflect rather than rush. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor of an empire, but what do we remember him for? His calm, personal reflections, his reminders that life is fleeting, but purpose is timeless. Success isn't measured in terms of how soon you start, but in terms of how richly you live. One can think that lost chances are equal to lost destiny, but life is not as black and white. It's crazy. It goes in circles. It crashes. It gets up, catches you when you don't expect it. Your path, it's not a straight line. It's a labyrinth, a dance, a crazy ride. And the only real error, letting fear inform you that you're out of time. Let's be realistic: you will doubt. You will compare to younger, quicker people who look like they are ahead. You'll feel behind. But don't forget, this comparison is a thief of joy and a deceiver when it comes to time. Your journey is valid because it's yours. It's established by your defeats as well as your triumphs, by your late beginnings as well as your bold beginnings. And some of the most important names in history didn't even begin until the world thought it was too late. Take Grandma Moses, for example. She started painting in her 70s. after a lifetime on the farm. In her 80s, her work was being exhibited in museums. Was she behind or on time? You decide. Or Harlan Sanders, better known, Colonel Sanders. Rejection characterized his 60s, doors slamming in his face, people laughing at his chicken formula. But he kept on knocking, kept on believing. At the age of 65, KFC was conceived, not because he rushed but because he didn't quit. You see, success doesn't arrive with youth. It arrives with readiness. And readiness, it often shows up disguised as heartbreak, as failure, as loss, polishing your edges until you're sharp enough to carve your place in the world. That's why your age is irrelevant. What matters is your fire, your belief, your refusal to surrender to the lie that you're done growing. Growth is a decision. Reinvention is a decision. And both are possible at any age. Stop with me for a moment, let's dig in. Why do we even worry about being too late in the first place? What's really driving that fear? If you strip away the layers, you'll discover one thing: regret. Regret speaks to us in our inner voice, saying, "If only I had begun earlier." Regret tells you that you're trapped, frozen by lost opportunities. But here's the truth: regret is a teacher, not a jailer. It teaches you what matters. It points out what still burns within you. It's not here to trap you. It's here to wake you up. The Stoics practice amor fati: love your fate. Love your story, flaws and all. Love the twists, the setbacks, the wasted years, because they crafted the exact person you are today. And that person, capable, resilient, ready. You're not behind schedule. You're battle-tested. You've battled scars the younger you never did. You've seen life's vulnerability. You've known failure. You know what really matters now. And maybe that clarity is the biggest victory of all. So what could success look like for you? Maybe it is launching a business at 50. Maybe it is writing your first book at 60. Maybe it is training for health targets at 70. Or just falling in love with yourself, your mission, your potential today. Because the human spirit does not die. The soul does not grow old as the body does. Passion never grows old. And purpose, it only improves with age, richer, deeper, more powerful. The world may have early bloomers, but late bloomers are allowed to bloom in full bloom. They bloom with stories, with scars, with learned wisdom from every turn and bend. So you're reading this and you're over here second guessing yourself, going, "My time has come." Here's what I have to say. Your time begins when you think it does. Not when the world is clapping. Not when the timing is perfect. Not when fear is eliminated. But now, in this messy, unpredictable, wildly imperfect moment. You have dreams. Good. You have doubts. Normal. You have time. Absolutely. But time is not promised. The one thing, the opportunity to start, to trust, to embark on messy, small, courageous steps toward the life that's been softly calling your name. The wise men of old reminded us the block is the path. Your age, it's not a limitation. It's a badge. Evidence you've lived, fallen, learned, and are still becoming. Achievement has no end date, because becoming has no deadline. So here's your invitation. Begin where you are. Love your pace. Silence the deadlines the world scream at you. And go after what sets you ablaze, regardless if you're 20, 40, or 90. You're not behind. You're right on time. And your story, it's only just starting. Before we wrap up, I want to hear your voice. What dream have you been holding yourself back from going after? What age belief has held you back? What chapter of your story feels still to be written to you? Leave a comment below. Your experience matters here. Your voice might be the catalyst someone else needs to believe in themselves once more. Keep in mind, success is not just for the young. It's for the bold. And bold doesn't recognize any age.